Hello everyone, welcome to Tiffany Colors. My name is Tiffany and it's time to do the completed pages of the month of April. Today happens to be April 30th, so the very last day of the month, and I thought what a great day to sit down and show you guys all my completed pages for the month. I thought we would start off with my 2025 coloring planner by the lovely Amanda Colors on Instagram, YouTube, and now she has this beautiful planner. I'm sure most of you have seen it. I wanted to show you my coloring page in this for April, which is this beautiful matchstick mouse coloring page by Morgan O'Brien. So cute for Easter, carrying an Easter egg and the little worm and the bee. I based this all with Ohuhu pastel markers and went over it, I believe, with either Kalour or Arrtx Colored pencils. And then there is a little bit of sparkly gel pen and white Gellyroll for the highlights. But you'll notice in some of my other pictures this month, I definitely utilize those pastel Ohuhu markers quite a bit. Especially for the spring colors that it gives off. So yeah, there's that first page. Let's see. Next, I worked out of Healing Mandalas coloring book, volume 2 by Nicola Lehman. If you like mandalas and have not checked out her books yet, I highly suggest you do. Love her mandalas. One of my favorite mandala artists out there. And I completed this page on April 8th. I believe I just picked my own color palette since I didn't write it down. Or was this Amanda Colors color palette? Hold on. This might have been, let me check my book. Yeah, this must have been, no, I did not do the AC palette challenge. So nope, I must have picked this out myself, this coloring page out. Copic Markers and I believe Arrtx Colored pencils for this one, and this was the only one I did. I'm doing this in order. Oh, I like to show the back because I think the back of the image is just as pretty as the front image. So I got another page done out of that book. Next up, I worked out of Girl Moments, a cute and comfy coloring book by Coco Wyo. Lots of people have seen this. It's all over Instagram and YouTube, and I'm sure on TikTok as well. I'm not on TikTok, but I bet it's on there. And I did the girl in the greenhouse. What better page to do for spring? She's working in her greenhouse. I did not complete that in May. I don't know why I put a 5. It's supposed to be a 4. So April 13th, I completed this page. I think I did a combination of Ohuhu pastel markers and Copic colors. But my biggest thing was trying to figure out the shadows. I went looking on Instagram for reference images on how to do shadows in a greenhouse. And it basically showed that the rafters of the greenhouse, if the sun's shining through a clear roof, would make these really cool, almost a purpley tinge to the shadows on the floor and everything down in it. So yeah, I kind of like how that came out. I'll have to practice more on it. And then everything around it is very bright because the sun's completely shining down on it except for where the shadows are. And I used a purple marker underneath to create the shadows first and then went over it with colored pencils. But yeah, this was a lot of fun to do. A lot of figuring out where to put the shadows and what colors to use. But yeah, it was pretty. I kind of like this big plant in the back. I have no idea what kind of plant that is, but I think I saw one on Instagram. Like, ooh, I want to add that color plant to my greenhouse. Oh, and I did draw in this outline in the back because it was just blank, and it's like, well, I want there to be like some shrubbery on the outside of the greenhouse. So I did draw that in and colored that in. But yeah, yep, love how that one came out. That was the only one I did out of that book. Next up is Cozy Era's cute coloring book by Jade Summer. And I completed this page on April 12th. So I got inspiration for this page from my new How to Draw Patterns book. In the very back, there's a flip through of this on my channel if you want to go find it. But in the back are all these like examples of different things you could do. And so I chose these colors with those like little purplish flowers for the colors of the grass. And then the sky, the inspiration for the sky came from this. So I decided to do the clouds in that teal green faded color. And then I drew in these night sky yellows and oranges. I drew that in. That was not there. And then I figured I would do these trees that are in the way back, in the distance, black, like this right here. So yeah, between the sky and then this grass, that's where I drew inspiration from, those two things. This is a really cool book. If you have not seen it yet, I really suggest you looking at it. I have it here in my stash because I did do some work in it that I want to show you guys next. But anyway, oh, I forgot. I also used out of that book this pattern for feathers in his hat. I wanted to give him some really more realistic feather look. Let me see if I can find the feather right here. I utilized that to figure out how to do those feathers. Not in that colors, but for that design. And I used my acrylic, Arrtx acrylic paint pens for those. So yeah, there's a combination of Copic markers, Arrtx colored pencils, and my Arrtx paint pens. But yeah, I really like how this one came out. I like the glow of the fire and how it's cascading on all of the things in the foreground, and then the sky, and then the moon. I kind of gave it like a swirl in the moon. And then, oh, I think I must have used some white Gellyroll for some highlights. Some white highlights. But yeah, really love the colors that I chose for this page. So that was out of Cozy Eras by Jade Summer. So I guess I'll show you what I've been working in How to Draw Patterns by Coco Wayo. I just am basically starting this in the front. And let me see, where is this? Okay, so I started right here. And I tried to find these colors, and then I did this kitty cat. I just didn't do the hearts. I didn't find room. I was trying to practice doing the bows. And I used a fine liner plus some Copics. And then down here, I did these lime curtains with a little doggy poking out, which came out really cool. And then I did this lamp with fish on it. And then this patchwork quilt. All of these were so quick and so fun. Oh, I think this one's my favorite. This sweater knit one. So I did use a black fine liner and some Gellyroll gel pen. But yeah, these were the base colors. And then I just kept going over it with darker colors. It's really, really cool. I want to try this out in a cute cozying page someday. And then this is like a glittery vest with hearts on it. Let's see what else. Oh yes, I did the strawberry cap or whatever. Yeah, cap, I guess it is. Bonnet, there we go. Strawberry bonnet. And then this cherry cap. This is a hat. And I had a little bleed out from the marker, so I tried to just go with it and be like, oh, well, we'll pretend I meant to do that. But yeah, again, all done with my Copics and just having fun. This will be the next one I do, probably in the next month, especially when I don't have a whole lot of time and I just want to practice some coloring. I will pull this book out, and so far it's been a lot of fun. But yeah, there is a flip through of this book. If you go to my first quarter haul video, of books and supplies that I got in the first quarter of 2025, you will see this book in a complete flip through in that video. Okay, so next I worked out of Annee Day, a soft living coloring book by Morgan O'Brien. And this was for the hashtag an Annee Day coloring. I'll also put the hashtag up on screen for you so you can see. But yeah, it's AC Annee Day hosted by at Amanda Colors. And so she picks a page out of this book every month, and this was the one for April. I completed it on April 6th. Based it all with Copic markers and then went over it with Arrtx Colored pencils. A nice, quick, easy coloring. I love these little coloring, especially in the beginning of the month to get you going, get your mojo going for the rest of the month. But yes, I like how that one came out. This was a Patreon page that I printed out. I'm part of Such and Such Deva's Patreon account. I will link that information in the description below if you're interested. But he sends out 10 different pages every month, and then you can either print them out and color them yourself, or I like to color them on my iPad. And so, yeah, this was one that I happened to try printing out. It was a Tiffany Windows stained glass. And I did this all with alcohol markers. I think it came out really cool. I completed this one on April 8th. Next up is Color by Colors, Pattern Animals by Kira Shershniva. And I'm trying to, this is one of my 10 books to finish. Or I don't know if I've got 10 books, I suppose. It's one of my books, complete. One of my coloring books I wish to finish in 2025. There we go. It's on my list. So I did another page out of here, and it's this ram. And I just basically straight color these with my Taotree, my Taotree alcohol markers. And then I use a white Gellyroll to add accents. And so, yep, another page completed out of that one. I worked out of my Disney Vitraux book. Love this book. Probably one of my favorite Disney Hatchet Hero books. If you don't have any of these Hatchet Hero books by Art Therapy, I would suggest this one or their Small Square Portraits book to start out first because they're not as intricate. And the thing I like about this one is they're all portrait style. You have no landscape style. So you're not constantly turning the book back and forth, back and forth. They all stay consistently with the portrait style. So I did this one. I'm not sure. I'm not very knowledgeable. There we go. That's probably the right word. On what all the Disney movies are. But this was the next one in line because I am trying to kind of do these front to back. And so I did this one on April 3rd. And then I also wanted to do another one. So I went flipping through and, okay, where are you? Did I put in? Oh, I did. I put in a marker, a sticker, so I'd know where to go. And then I did this one on April 1st. So I did this one first, evidently. And it's 101 Dalmatians. I do all of these two that I did this month, I did with my Crayola Supertips. And then I outlined it with my Steadtler fineliner that I have. It's for drawing. It comes in a package. It's all for drawings. But I used my, there's like a size 8 nib. So it's a really thick nib. And I just kind of outlined everything or the parts that I wanted to really pop off the page. And I kind of really like how that happened. I did not shade or anything in either of these. Basic straight coloring, and then just outlined it with that outline pen. So yeah, I love how both of these came out. This book is so pretty and vibrant, the colors. That's what I like too in my coloring books. Next up, we've got Fantasy and Fairy Characters, Grayscale Coloring by Christine Karen. And I decided to do this pirate page, this pirate girl. And I'm interested recently, because I completed this on the 27th of April, but I started watching watercolor artists on YouTube, and I really got interested in watercolor. I didn't think I would say that because usually I don't like watercolor in my coloring books, but I used watercolor pencils, my Steadtler Aquarel watercolor pencils, and I don't know, this paper is Amazon paper. I just tried to make sure I didn't use a whole lot of water, And then I went over it with my Castel Art pencils for shading, and then a white Gellyroll for some highlights. I don't know, I just really like how this came out. I like the effect. So it makes me want to do more watercolor pages now. Maybe it's been a while since I've really used watercolor. And so the fact that I'm interested in using it, I'm going to go with it. I even want to try, I have a small pan of watercolors that I want to bring out and try that and see how that works in some of my coloring pages. But yeah, I really love how this one came out. I love the colors that I chose. I don't think I had inspiration. I think I kind of just, oh yes, I did. For this green, I did find inspiration on Pinterest because I looked up pirate illustrations to see what they had for colors. And this is, so I'm like, oh yeah, because I don't want to do just a black vest and a black hat. I want to give it some color. So I really like that green. But anyway, yep, that's another one completed out of this book that I had not worked in quite a while. So it's nice to give my older books some love. Let's see. Next is Kawaii Town coloring book by Jade Summer. And I completed this page for Easter. And I did this I finished it on Easter morning. As I was flipping through these books when I was doing my full book tour that I still get to continue of all my coloring books I own, I came across this when I was showcasing this book. I was like, oh my God, I got to do this for Easter. So I quickly took it downstairs and based it all with Ohuhu pastel markers. And then I wanted to use my Castel Arts this month because I'm trying to give my older pencils a little bit of love as well. And so I've really been enjoying my 72 set of Castel Art pencils. And so, yep, it pops the colors off the page with those pastel colors and then a darker color for shading. I think it came out really cool. Oh yeah, and then I outlined it in a blue marker just to kind of give it a little bit of outline, and white Gellyroll for highlights. So I really like how that one came out as well. Then I worked out of R.J. Hampson, Hide and Seek. This was an untouched coloring book for me. It was a new coloring book that I hadn't worked out of yet. And I did his color along. So if you don't know, R.J. Hampson has a YouTube channel, and he picks certain pages every month out of all of his books to color in for the month. And this one he picked for April, of course, because of Easter. And so I watched his color along one morning before work. I just based everything with my markers. And then that night I came back and darkened it up with, I think, my Arrtx Colored pencils. I completed this one on April 12th. Love the colors he chose. Very pastel, pretty Easter coloring for sure. So yeah, I have a page done out of that book. This also is a book that I want to finish in 2025. It's Color by Color Spring by Kira Shershniva. And so I did this one. I just based the whole thing with alcohol markers. It looks like probably some pastel. Oh, you know what? I didn't finish this. I think I flagged it to finish it, and I didn't finish it. Never mind. We're going to flip to the page I actually finished. Oh my God, I think it's too early this morning. So I completed this on April 3rd. I did this all with my Ohuhu pastel markers, and then I went over it and outlined some of it with sparkly Gellyroll gel pen. I think you can see that in the light. Nice quick coloring. Wanted to make sure I got another page done out of this book, and I did. So yes. All right. I seem to do a page out of this book every month because I absolutely love this book lately. Color by Number Animals by Jade Summer. And I did the elephant page. I decided to do the next one in order. This one, if you haven't seen this book before, has a lot of colors. And so I've got to use various sets of markers just to find all the colors. So I use my Copic markers, my Taotree, my Ohuhu pastels, regular Ohuhus. So there's like 4 different sets that I'll pull from just to make sure I can get all the different colors, because it does come out really pretty. All these pages look absolutely beautiful when they're finished coloring. Now this one I didn't shade at all, and still look at all those different reds So it really does make a difference. I like how they're not using every color under the rainbow in a single page. That I think is key too, to actually they pick nice colors to use for each page. So yes, highly recommend this book. I completed this one on April 15th, and then I think I used my Kalour colored pencils over the top. I think it was my Kalour colored pencils on top for shading, and a white Gellyroll for highlights. So yes, another page completed out of that. Then I had to pull out my Alexander Francis books because springtime in this book, Color by Number Gardens by Alexander Francis, I always think of spring when I think of this book. So I completed another page out of this book, and it's the birds in the bird bath. I believe this was all based with my Copics. Yep. I think it's Copic colored pencils. I even did Copic markers. I did a gradient in the back with the Copics and then shaded it in even darker with some Arrtx Colored pencils. White Gellyroll for highlights, the usual. I completed this on April 5th. But yeah, the pretty birds in the bird bath, and I did put the glow of the sunset in the water. I thought that might look nice. I love these purple flowers, and yeah, her color palettes are always really pretty too in her color by numbers. All right, so then I just finished this morning, Color by Colors Fairy Houses by Alexander Francis, and I wanted to do this indoor scene. I love this book because it's got some beautiful indoor pictures. You get the blank images without the numbers in the back. I forgot to tell you that about Color by Number Gardens as well. So if you don't like the numbers, she has the same images in the back without the numbers. I like to do the ones with the numbers first. And so, yep, I did this all with my Ohuhu pastel markers and Castel Art pencils for shading, white Gellyroll for highlights. And yeah, I love how it comes out when I use the pastel colors in these books. So springy, so fun and colorful, and happy to have another page completed out of that book. We're down to 2 more coloring books, you guys. So Color by Number, Bold and Highly Detailed Cute-tastic by 5 Idea Publishing. And I did this one, which was the next one in line. Again, I don't know why I put May. I did not do this in May. I did this in April. I guess I was a whole month ahead for some reason. But yes, I used my Taotree markers for this one. So this was done with Taotrees, just straight marker coloring. I may have used a few Ohuhu pastels though, because that pink looks like it might have been a Ohuhu. But anyway, regardless, they always come out wicked colorful, super cool and vibrant. And yep, happy to have another page done out of that book. And the last physical book I have to show you today is out of Erie, Magical Land of Laramia. And I did this one. And this was for a challenge, a hashtag. There we go. A hashtag of Color the Fairy Tales, April 2025 by @Jordy Colors. So I will put that hashtag up on the screen for you now. The prompts were duck, swan, egg, and pond or lake. So where it said it was a lake, I said, perfect, I'll use this page to do for that prompt. And I based the whole thing with watercolor pencils, my water aquarel pencils by Steadtler, and then went over it with my Arrtx Colored pencils to deepen the shading a little bit. But yeah, it's cute, it's colorful, it's a page completed out of this book. And so for physical books, that's all I have to show you. Next up, I'm going to go get my iPad and show you what I've been doing on there, as well as my bullet journal, because I've been doing some drawing in my bullet journal that I want to show you guys. So if you want to see all that, stay tuned. Otherwise, I will see everyone next month. All right. Okay guys, so here's my iPad. I've actually only completed 3 pages on my iPad this month. I hope you can see the screen okay. I turned off my lamp so that it wouldn't give a glare. But I did this one for Sach and Sachdeva's Patreon. I colored it over the numbers so you can't see the numbers, but it was another page out of Tiffany Windows stained glass, and I completed that one on April 25th. Very colorful and vibrant. So when I'm picking colors, because I want to pick the colors that he chose, I actually usually go to reference and I'll bring up, you can choose image, and I'll bring up the image of the color palette. That way when I need a number, I can zoom in and say I need a 6. I literally hold my finger down, it picks up the color, and there it is, and then I can start coloring with my brush. So a little hint, if you are coloring on your iPad, but you don't want to keep going back and forth to try and find colors, just bring it up as a reference on your page, and then you can easily pick the colors. But yeah, I did that one. And then this was the one I did this month out of Hatchet Heroes Tome 10. I have it digitally on my iPad, the whole book. I got it off of Etsy. If you're interested, let me know in the comments and I can give you the link of where I bought it. But it's kind of nice to have the whole book on my iPad, because then I can just pick one page a month to work on, because these are really intricate and they've got all the colors down here you need. So easily you can color pick by holding your finger and it will pick the exact color you need. No looking through your arsenal of colors. These still take just as long as if you were coloring them on paper. So it's not like it's any faster digitally. I still use my Apple Pencil and color each and every section. So it is fun to do. And then the last page I worked on was this, and this was from Sachin's Patreon. I'll show you what the original image looked like. And let's bring it up to opacity. So this was the color by number image. I wanted to outline it with a certain pen that I have. And so that's what I did. I outlined the image in whatever color was needed around it and then filled it in so that it would look like a color by colors page. So yeah, that was really fun to do. I finished that one on April 26th. So guys, those 3 pages was all I was able to do on my iPad this month, but I did have fun. Let's turn the light on again. I did have fun drawing out of my bullet journal. I like drawing in a bullet journal because I like having the little dots on the page as a guide. A blank page scares me. And so when I started drawing on these dot grid pages, it just went so much smoother. Like I could tell kind of where the middle was, and then I would work my way out from there. And I was able to keep things pretty cohesive by counting how many dots, like how big the image to make, where to put stuff. But yeah, I like to draw designs mostly on these on these pages. And I do some creative writing, which I'll cover up over here with a sticker. But, and then for me to consider it a finished page, I have to color it in. So I base these mostly with alcohol markers and then color over it with my colored pencils, kind of like what I like to do with my coloring book pages. And here's another one. I love seeing ladybugs. They bring good luck to me. Ladybug lore. I do love ladybugs. Every time I see one in the morning, I know I'm going to have a good day. This one is called Stone Puzzle. And yeah, I just kind of drew in these designs and then rounded out the edges, went over it with a black fine liner, and then I picked all the grays that were from my Ohuhu pastel set and put them down bottom and thought I would use that in here to look like stones, Easter stained glass. That was a lot of fun to do too. I used Copic markers and a Steadtler fine liners to go around it. Sketchy square mandala. This one I used water-based markers. I pulled out my Ohuhu water-based brush tip markers, and I actually don't like the design. I was really tired one night when I drew this, and so it's very sloppy. But I'm like, whatever, I'm going to finish it. So the next morning I came in and picked a color palette and just finished it with those colors. But it's a notebook, right? It's a sketchbook. You're not going to have beautiful images every time. And I got to use my Ohuhu water brush markers that I hadn't used in a very long time. And then I did framed florals, so I did different floral designs in 4 different frames. Copic markers, Steadtler fineliners, and gel pens. There's some glitter gel pens on there. So that was fun. And then I just put down Castel Art pencils for shading. I'm pretty sure, oh yeah, so it looks like I used a couple of Copic markers, and then these are all Taotree markers, colors. I picked a color palette off of Pinterest and used that. Again, they almost look like stones, which I think is really cool. And then this one is one that I still need to finish. Oh, you know what? I took a picture of this and ended up drawing it on my iPad. That's right. I forgot about that. But hope maybe you'll see that in another video. But that is all that I have to show you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, thanks for staying to the end. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will link all of the books that you saw on this channel in the description below, so you can easily find them on Amazon. I am an Amazon affiliate, so anytime you use those links to purchase, great appreciation, guys. It's not much, but it comes back to me so I can put it back into my channel. All right, guys, I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.